Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Over here, it's the random data generated. You can go over here. You can create your data from over here. I went ahead and created the data. Over here, read the staging table for country as well. I'll just go ahead and create a staging table for country code. As country, we can go ahead and use any source system. We don't really need a specific source system for that. That's why I'm just having only two sources, only a single source for the country. And do you want me to go ahead and create the entire set of landing table and everything for country? Or is it fine that I go ahead and load the data into the country and just load it? We'll be loading it from landing and staging and base object for party and address. Just let me know. That is just a lookup table. That's why I'm just asking. I think we can create a landing and all. I'm just sending the country code into PKD source as well. We'll just go back here. As we do not have any ETLs to do our particular job, we'll just go ahead and use the landing tables and directly import the data. Go ahead over here, import the data. Next, I have the delimiter as 1. I have the header as well. Next, both attributes. Country name is description. Code is country code. Next much. I need the excuse. I think all these are having. Why they are having that much of data? Country codes is having much less. Again, they are having multiple formats. Just check if anything else is there. I can do this. I press that there are. There was multiple commas and certain number of country columns. That's why. That is imported. We'll see. All these are over here. For going ahead and updating the time, we can go ahead and update the time as well. Let me just go ahead and connect this one as well. I can utilize. You can see that now it's over there. It's empty. We can for that particular purpose that we can have a date time. Over here to the system. It would be taking the last updated data now. We have the data in the landing table. How did you got that? Like now thing. Just with click. Just a bit click, nothing else. I just added the function. These are all the cleans functions which we created. These are all the functions which are given by Informatica for us. And if you'll see over here for party, I have used the concatenate function. What I'm doing is I'm adding the registry ID as my first value. Second value is bar and the third value is coming from system name. It would for the primary. It would be registry ID separator system name. That is how I have gone ahead and done that. We'll go into the batch viewer. For landing table, we have loaded for country. We'll go ahead and execute the batch. You can see it's been done. All the 248 reds got inserted. There were 248 records. If we go over here, there are 248 records in total. These are just the numbers. I didn't do anything. It's 4 as I stated earlier. that the source row ID would be utilized for if there would be any reject which will be happening. That is one way to do it. And then we'll go ahead and do the load part and execute. As it's the first time, we don't need any force update to be utilized. You can see the stage was being completed within fraction of seconds. It got finished within 4 seconds. But our load job is taking a little bit more time. It took around 11 seconds to go ahead and insert. All these are inserted, but all the others were 0. If we go over here in the country, you'll see in cross-reference. All the data has been inserted with the system name, last update date and everything. And there's the staging table. ID. You can see now this 31 and this 31 is exactly the same. If there would be any changes in the row ID object, it would go ahead and change that. Original row ID object means, let's say there were two records which got merged together and the second record was merged into first one. Original row ID will for second. It will remain second, but for over here it will be updated. You can see all the records are there and base object as well. There won't be any record in VX, any of these table, but control table. Nothing is there. Because there is no updates which are getting done. Control table only holds the updates for any record. Now, when this is done, we'll go ahead and load the data for address and party and we'll utilize our batch group to do that. We'll add the party load. We can now add the stage tables for party as well. Then load for CRAM and SAPE. Load for address CRAM and SAPE. First, we'll go ahead and do all these things. Let's go ahead and add the data. Let's see all the data. I have added the address data also in this one, but I have separated them out. I'll just go ahead and add only these attributes which are needed for us. I think I have the system name. I'll just go ahead and remove all these columns. Only these columns will be shifted. Registry ID will go into registry ID, system name will go into system name. Now you can see that Pro ID is not coming up. For that, I think we have to go ahead and add the data into source ID. Because I forgot that part. What I can do is these are 250. These would be in 1000 records which are there. Now I'll go ahead and import for SAP as well. The same exact thing is coming on. Next, registry ID would be going into registry ID. System name will go into system name. You can see first name, last name, gender and status is going into correct places. We have added them, but the source row ID needs the data to be imported. I can just go ahead and push the data. I will do this. I'll just go ahead and use the replace function. I'm just going ahead and pushing up. I just remove all the dashes and just push out all the numeric formats over here. The same thing. This one is done. Now we have to add the address, import the data. Import artit country code will be going into country. Street will be going to address line 1. City to city, state to state. I have a state over here. Now I don't have a state. I just have one city and system name. It's added now. We'll just go ahead and add the key and the source row ID of the object. This is done. We updated all that and we have to add the primary key as well. Primary key. We can go ahead and add as party ID and source system, or we can go ahead and add party ID, city and source system. any of these three. Because now, in other regular terms, what we can go ahead and always do is the primary key is always created with an address type. There might be 9% chances in every model. With the address, there would be a type associated with that. It's a postal address or which kind of address, and with that the primary keys are being created. Let's do source system. And I'll just use city name. Just go ahead with it. The key is also updated. Address is loaded or party data is loaded. Now you can see that in address we have no row ID objects which are being added up. How this thing will look like. We have the landing for both the data and for party and address both. We'll just go over here. We'll say execute. If you go over here and say last updated was an issue, and it added the last updated, just go ahead and say last update. Here is the work. Now you can see that in the batch group we had some failures. In this one, we'll see failures with the message. All the records which will get rejected, we can go ahead and see how they were rejected. This is what it will showcase us. And the same, We can go ahead and see it over here. Staging tables are down. And the address of which one it got created. In address it was created. You can see all the data which came in. All the data for C. Raman which came in. Over here, we always go for error description and this job row ID object. This is the source row ID which we had. It will get updated according to the system. Over here, if we have to go ahead and check what is the data which will be going in, we have to have a primary key. And that primary key we will be seeing over here. If there will be any updates which will be going in. Rest. You can see party data has been sent in. And this one is party for SAP which was being sent in. How much got inserted? Where is the address label? Why it was restarted? Then dark ones. Now it will be going in. You can see address and party. All are completed. With how many records got inserted and all. No action because the party data was exactly same. Missing lookup. What missing lookup we are having? We will be having the party ID as missing lookup. As we have removed the dashes for the row ID object. How we can go ahead and update these things or check these things? Like all these things will be coming into picture whenever we will be going ahead and doing. All the records are rejected. You can go and see over here as well and in the reject table as well. Just go and do the staging for address. We will just go ahead. All the records got rejected. We just went ahead and updated the correct paths. We just directly load the data. Same at one location. CRAM, it would be CRAM. Whenever the ETL jobs are being added up, all these things you will not see initially because we'll be having in a proper way. Now, I'm just adding it from Excel. That's why I'm facing these many issues. Now, why it was being rejected? Cannot find the lookup value for party ID. Why it is not able to find out. See what has gone into the party. First check what we have set. And staging. Set for this. Cross-reference primary source. Cross-reference. Primary key source doesn't have. Not. I think country code is care 7, care 3. That is fine because that is also care 3. I think this should not give us any more issues now. Still there are rejects. Oh, I just messed it up. I'm going to go into the landing table now. I think that's all. We have party ID over here. I have just It's good. It's good. We just next key. The first. It's been sorted. Two records rejected. Cannot find the lookup value for the country column. Even I don't have any idea about these ones. To be honest. Which country is that? That's the lookup failure over there. And the 96 reports got inserted. Now our part where we were waiting for. Match and merge. We'll just go over here. We'll just apply. The duplicate one can execute. Let's see how much data we. This which would be duplicate. You can see over here. The party table. We have around 29 something data. Let's see what happens. It will take some time. Till this is going ahead and taking time. These all issues which we just got. These are because we were trying to go ahead and create the data. That manually basically. But if it would be an ETL job, then these things will not come into picture. Because in the ETL, all these things will be going through multiple joins and multiple validations. These data won't be certain number of issues which will be coming up. Even if we are having the files which will be, we will be loading it into the MDM, then also that particular part will be coming up via ETL only. ETL will be picking up the file. I'll give you this website name over here. The second. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.